Mario Kart World shakes up just about everything we thought we knew about our favorite kart racer. An open world, 4K visuals, interconnecting tracks, the frickin' Moo Moo Cow playable. This ain't your grandpa's Mario Kart, but the core essence, the specialty of this series, remains fully intact through the bullshit items. This lineup's got returning favorites, it's got brand new gimmicks, and it's definitely got a world of fun in store for all Switch 2 adopters. Which is why today, we're looking at every item in Mario Kart World and ranking them from worthless to elite. The over-reliable banana peel is a lot less impactful than it's been in just about every other entry. Outside of hella impressive snipes, there's just no offense with this, but it's always been the standard defense item, until the new charge jump mitigated that too. Since it allows you to hop over incoming projectiles, it takes away the need to have a banana on your ass, so now it only serves to give you some leeway as you learn this new mechanic. It's honestly as worthless as it's ever been. As for the triple bananas, I'll give them a bit more credit, since you get 360 coverage from the other 23 racers, but it can't go any higher than not terrible tier. The Super Mushroom is an icon in this series, and I don't think it's ever a disappointing pull. The short burst of speed it provides opens up so many shortcuts that can make the difference in a race, especially since it's not restricted to lower placements. You can pull this in the top 3 or 5, and if you get it up into first, you can use it to zoom out of a blue shell explosion. You could do this in the last couple games too, but they made the window to use the mushroom way more forgiving, adding some additional buff to it. It almost always comes in clutch, and the golden and triple variants do the exact same thing but to a greater extent, so they'll get boosted up to elite tiers. The Mega Mushroom from Mario Kart Wii makes its grand return here, and it's awesome to see once again, but doesn't feel quite as unstoppable as it did previously. With the tracks being so much bigger and more open, there's less racer congestion to allow you to plow through like 5 people at once. Having more opponents can help to counter that, but most of the time there was only like 1 or 2 dudes nearby to crush, and that's like the main fun thing about this item. It's still really good though. You get a nice speed increase, and most projectiles don't affect you, but you're not invincible. Stars, bullet bills, and shocks still leave a mark and remove the ability, so there's limitations for sure, but it's not enough to make it average. It's a great item overall. The green shell almost always makes people sigh in disappointment. You want a red shell and get stuck with this, but unlike Mario Kart 8, they don't gravitate toward other racers after ricocheting off walls. They rely solely on how well you time out the throw, which makes it satisfying to land, but very rare. And like I said for the banana peel, the defense aspect is pretty obsolete now, so it's left feeling irrelevant. It'd feel wrong to put in worthless though, it's not the worst thing out there. Triple greens on the other hand are slightly more appealing. You get a layer of armor around you and 3 chances to land a hit on someone, which is way more manageable and makes this a solid pull. Red shells are the most standard yet effective attack items in the game. They lock onto the guy in front of them and guarantee you a hit. Whether or not they block it is up to them, but it always does its job. Or it did. With the new charge jump and surplus of alternate routes, there's a lot more players can do to avoid these, which nerfs one of the most reliable aspects of this wildly unpredictable game. Death, taxes, and red shells landing hits. Not anymore. Because of that, I gotta shift it down to a solid pull. It's still very likely to catch someone off guard and wreak havoc, but there's more counters now. And the triple reds go 1 tier higher. You can't jump over 3 of these after all, and if there's a cluster of racers, you're landing at least like 2 hits, which can be super clutch. The blue shell has been the bane of my existence since I started playing these games, because it ruins otherwise flawless performances right at the end, and it doesn't even help the player that pulls it. In a middle position, getting one of these is just a slap in the face. Go help the guys in second and third while you're left itemless surrounded by people who got power items. It f***ing rocks. Worthless. The coin shell is new to Mario Kart World. When you throw it, it travels for a bit down the center of the road and leaves a trail of coins for the user to pick up. And with the new max of 20 coins per race, this can really help to increase your max speed to make a comeback. The downside though is that these coins are obtainable by any players and you don't really have much control over the aim of the shell, but it has its uses and is certainly not terrible. The fire flower lets you rapid fire a bunch of hot projectiles at nearby foes, and it gives you a good number of shots at the cost of them having less knockout power, which is fair. I'd say it averages out to be pretty comparable to the triple greens. It's a solid pull. And then there's the ice flower, which is new to this game, and it's a really welcome addition, but it doesn't shake things up much at all. Instead of shooting fireballs, get this, you shoot ice balls, and these have the added benefit of making those that get hit lose some traction when they resume driving, which has a marginal positive impact and leaves it as another solid pull. The boomerang flower gives you an extra throw compared to the 8 Deluxe version, now having 4, and you can sling it forward and watch it work its way back to take out anything in its path. There's no limit to the amount of racers it can hit, and I can't tell you how many times that backswing came in handy, which makes it one of the best projectiles in the game. Clutch. You only see the bullet bill if you're not doing so hot, but there's a reason for that. It takes you for a ride and doesn't require a lick of player input beyond activating the item. It bypasses all turns and obstacles to make the race more competitive, and there's no spot besides Elite for this one. The Bomb is one of my least favorite items in the game. Don't get me wrong, it can be practical and do some serious damage, but aiming it is a nightmare, and blowing yourself up is all too common when throwing him forward. Usually I'll just toss him behind me and re-roll, I'd rather have almost anything else, but it's not worthless, it's just not good. The hammer is a really fresh new idea for Mario Kart. You throw a series of hammers in a straight line that do some damage initially, and stay on the ground as hazards. It's really cool. It's not easy to aim though. Since they come in from the sky, it's less reliable than a shell, but because they stay where they land, there's more potential to trip up others behind you. It averages out to be on the same level as the triple greens, even though I adore the concept. When the Super Horn was introduced, it was acclaimed by everyone as the long-awaited protector from blue shells, but in this game, there's so many other ways to avoid them. But even if you have nothing, you can rewind and move out of the blast radius. It's broken. Now, this is still a great way to clear a more hectic part of the track, and it's still the easiest way to rid of the Forsaken spiny shell, but it's nerfed compared to previous entries. Solid pull. The coin is and always will be worthless. 2 coins is just not enough to warrant an item slot. The question block, though, is a little more handy. It puts the iconic block over your cart and lets you smack it for a limited time to get like 10 coins. They're still frickin' coins. It's not terrible, but I'm never all that thrilled about it. The Boo is a super underrated item in Mario Kart. It makes you completely invisible and invincible to attacks, while there's also a Boo hunting down a new item for you. He usually finds something not so great, but sometimes it's just what you need. And even if not, the temporary invulnerability is great. It's one of the very few items that can actually shock dodge. There's no speed increase or anything like that, but it'd be a crime to put lower than Clutch AF. The blooper is the most pointless item in the game. It's supposed to make it harder for other racers to see, but if you're playing against bots, there's no noticeable difference in their play, and if you're playing against a real person, so long as they have functioning f***ing eyeballs, there's still no difference. Even when I was playing these tracks for the first time and didn't know my way around, it didn't affect me whatsoever. This is textbook worthless. The feather is one that's grown on me a lot more as I've played the game. At first, I thought it was a glorified charge jump, but there's a lot more applications to it. Since it gives you mad amounts of height, you can clear big gaps in the track and still hop over obstacles, making it pretty useful and fun to use. It's solid for sure. The Superstar makes you completely invincible and turns all off-road into on-road. It's a killer item for getting yourself back in the race, and of course deserves Elite tier. Lightning affects everyone all at once by shrinking them down and wiping them clean of all their items, allowing the gap between the haves and the have-nots to tighten just a little bit more. It's the best attack item in the game, Elite. Kamek gets his own new item in this game. Finally, the man gets the attention he deserves. It doesn't do anything. It changes other racers to funny characters, but doesn't affect their speed or improve the users. It's just a troll. Worthless. And finally, the Dash Food is a super mushroom on steroids that also unlocks costumes for whoever you're playing as, which are purely aesthetic, so they don't impact the ranking. It's going on the same tier as the base mushroom. Clutch. And there you have it.